Hello and Deshidale to everyone. So today I'll be discussing the next topic of the chapter application of derivatives, in which we are going to see the nature of the function in an interval, okay, and how we are going to apply derivative in checking the nature of the function in that given interval, right? So when I say nature of the function, then I mean okay, first let me write the name of the chapter. So we are in the chapter application of derivatives, okay, and here we are going to study the nature of the function, okay, and we are going to apply derivative in checking the nature of the function, okay. So that is the function, whether the function is increasing or decreasing in an interval, right? So we are going to study the nature of the function in an interval. So when I say nature of the function in an interval, then I mean whether the function is increasing in that interval or the function is decreasing in that interval, right? And so to do that, we are going to apply derivatives, and we will check the nature of the function in that interval, right? So this is the second application of derivative, okay. So first let me tell you what do we mean by the function is increasing in an interval and the function is decreasing in an interval, right? And to define that, I will take help of graph and I will explain, okay, one by one. So let me take different types of function here. Let my interval be AB, okay, and in the graph, in this interval AB, let the graph of the function fx is somewhat like this. It is like this, okay. So this is the function f of x, okay. Let me take another function, okay. I will take the same interval and let this be the graph of the function in this interval, right? Okay. Now if I consider these two functions, right, if you look at the nature of the function in these two intervals, you can see starting from a, here I taken my interval as AB, okay. Here you can see up to this, okay, from a to this interval, okay, you can see the function, it goes like this, okay, which means it is increasing, right? It is increasing. You know the meaning of increasing, right? So it is increasing, but within this interval, right, the function is constant, right? It goes straight. It is neither increasing nor decreasing. It is a constant function in this graph. And then from this interval, this point to this B, the function is increasing, right? So you can see that here in this interval A to B, okay, the function is, first the function is increasing and then it goes constant, and again here in this interval the function starts increasing, right? So in an interval, if a function is increasing or if it is a constant, right, like this function, you can see here in this interval the function is increasing as well as it is going constant within that interval. So such function is called as, here you can say fx is increasing in the interval AB. Now this interval you can take open interval as well as you can take closed interval, right? So in this interval AB, the function is increasing. So you can see that fx is increasing function. Now you should know what do we mean by an increasing function, right? So increasing means within that interval the function is increasing, right? So it goes upward, okay. So also it can go constant somewhere, but it should be like increasing and constant together, we get a increasing function, right? And now you take the second function, okay, y is equals to fx. Now in this interval AB, you will see that throughout this interval AB, the function is always increasing. No way it is being constant, right? So such function is called as, here in this case you can see that fx is strictly increasing function, right? Strictly increasing function. So now you should know the difference between increasing function and strictly increasing function, right? So if a function is increasing function, right, then within that interval, now whenever we are seeing increasing or decreasing, strictly increasing or strictly decreasing function, we have to first take an interval, and in that interval we have to study the nature of the function, right? So if a function is increasing as well as it is being constant at some point, then we say that the function is increasing function, right? And strictly increasing function means throughout that interval the function is always increasing, no way it is constant, right? So such function is called as strictly increasing function. So this is the graphical difference between increasing function and strictly increasing function, right? So you should know this, okay? Similarly, now if you understand these two, then easily you can understand the decreasing and strictly decreasing function also, right? If I take another graph of the function, let me take this interval a to b, okay? If the graph of the function is somewhat like this, okay, now you can see that the function is decreasing up to here, and then it goes constant at some point, and then again it starts decreasing, right? So the function here, let me write this, the name of the function y is equals to fx, okay? Now this function is decreasing function, okay? So decreasing means the function is decreasing as well as it goes constant at some point within that interval. So this function is decreasing function, right? So here this fx is decreasing function, okay? And strictly decreasing means the function is always decreasing, no way it goes constant, right? So if I consider this interval and let my function be like this, okay? So let my function y is equals to fx. So this function is strictly decreasing. So this function is strictly decreasing function. So you can say decreasing function means the function is decreasing and it goes constant, okay? If both happens, the function is decreasing as well as it goes constant at some point, then that function is said to be decreasing in that interval, right? Whenever we are studying the nature of the function, we need an interval, and in that interval we are talking about the nature of the function, okay? And whereas when you consider this function, so here in this function, the function is strictly decreasing, okay? It is always a decreasing at all the points within that interval, no way it goes constant. So then we say that this is a strictly decreasing function, okay? So now you should understand first these four types of function, right? What do we mean by increasing function? What is strictly increasing? What is decreasing? And what is strictly decreasing function? So this, with the help of the graph, you can easily understand what do we mean by increasing, strictly increasing, decreasing, and strictly decreasing function, right? Okay. Now let me take one more type of function, okay? Let me take here in the same interval AB. If my function is like this, okay, now what happens in this interval AB? Okay, up to here, let me take this as C. AC is a subinterval of AB. Now within this interval the function is increasing, but in this interval the function is decreasing, which means in the interval AB the function is increasing as well as it is decreasing. It both happens, right? Whereas here and here in these two cases the function is increasing and it goes constant, not decreasing, okay? Increasing and decreasing together does not happen in these two, right? It may increase and then it goes constant, not decrease, right? Increasing and constant, then it becomes increasing function. Decreasing and constant, then it becomes decreasing function. But in this case, what happens? The function is increasing as well as the function is decreasing, right? So such type of function, okay, within an interval, if it increase and decrease both happens, then this function is said to be neither increasing nor decreasing, right? So this is an example of neither increasing nor decreasing, right? So in an interval, if a function is both increasing and decreasing, if both happens, then we say that function is neither increasing nor decreasing, right? So you have to remember these 5 types of function: increasing, strictly increasing, decreasing, strictly decreasing, and neither increasing nor decreasing. So we have 5 natures of function in an interval, right? So graphically I try to explain, okay? Now we will define, okay? Right now we are just trying to understand the nature of the function. Nowhere here we are applying a derivative. Later we are going to do that, okay? So first you understand what is increasing function, what is decreasing, what is strictly increasing, what is strictly decreasing, and all. Okay. Okay. Now we will try to define increasing function, decreasing function, strictly increasing, strictly decreasing. Okay. Now what happens is, I will try to first explain it in the graph. Okay. First I'll try to define graphically. Okay. Now you can see through the graph that the function is increasing function in the interval AB. In the interval AB, the function is increasing, that you can see, right? Now if I take any 2 points x1 and x2 within the interval AB, if I take 2 points x1 and x2 in the interval AB, where you can see that x1 is less than x2, is it? X1 is less than x2, it's a number line, so the number on the left hand side is always smaller. So I have taken 2 points x1 and x2 within the interval AB such that x1 is less than x2, right? Now what happens is, okay, first I will consider x1 here and x2 here, right? Okay, and x1 is less than x2. Now here you can consider, okay, now this is f of x1, it's the image of x1, and okay, this is the image of x2, that is f of x2, right? For x1 is less than x2, if a function is increasing function, then what happens is f of x1, okay, f of x1 is, okay, less than f of x2, right? If a function is increasing, then what happens is, okay, if a function is increasing, then what happens, if you take any 2 points within the interval AB such that x1 is less than x2, then f of x1 is less than f of x2. That happens, you can see here graphically. Similarly, or what can happen is, if you take x1 and x2 within this interval, if I take x1 here, okay, if I take x1 and x2 here, okay, then also x1 is less than x2, right? Then what happens is, what is the image of x1? It is here, that is, this is f of x1, okay. Also, what is image of x2? Here, this is also image of x2, right? So, or what you will get is f of x1 is equals to f of x2. Since the function is increasing function, the function goes constant also within that interval, right? So these two things can happen when a function is increasing function. For any point x1 less than x2 in the interval AB, either the image f of x1 is less than f of x2 or f of x1 is equals to f of x2. So in short, I can say that if a function is increasing, then for any point x1 and x2 within the interval, what happens is f of x1 is less than or equals to, now I'm going to combine these two, f of x1 is less than or equals to f of x2. So this is the definition of increasing function, right? In an interval AB, right, interval, you can just write I as the short form for interval. In an interval I, now this interval I can be anything. Here we have taken AB. In an interval I, right, for any x1, for any 2 points x1 and x2 such that x1 is less than x2, then the function is increasing if f of x1 is less than or equals to f of x2. So this is the definition of increasing function, okay. Now what happens when the function is strictly increasing? Okay, so let me take 2 points x1 and x2 within that interval. Now you can shift these 2 points anywhere, but remember that x1 is always less than x2. You had taken the 2 points in this order, x1 on the left and x2 on the right, which means x1 is less than x2. So if the function is strictly increasing, then what you will get, this is your f of x1 and this is your f of x2, right? So if a function is strictly increasing, then we have only one possibility, that is f of x1 is strictly less than f of x2. No way it goes constant, so f of x1 and f of x2 will never be same, right? So if a function is strictly increasing, then f of x1 is strictly less than f of x2. So this is the difference in the definition of increasing and strictly increasing function, right? If it is increasing function, then for x1 and x2, where x1 is less than x2, this will imply f of x1 is less than or equals to f of x2. Whereas for strictly increasing function, if x1 is less than x2, then if a function is strictly increasing, then what we should have is f of x1 is strictly less than f of x2. Okay, so this is how we define increasing and strictly increasing function. Okay, now let me define decreasing function. Okay, okay, now you look at the graph and you can see that this function is decreasing function. The function is decreasing as well as it goes constant, right? So let me consider this as y is equals to f of x, this function. Okay, now you take 2 points x1 and x2, such that x1 is less than x2. Now you look here, what happens when the function is decreasing, right? You take x1 somewhere here and you take x2 here, right? So now what is the image of x1? It is here, right? So this is f of x1, and what is the image of x2? It is here. This is f of x2, right? When the function is decreasing, right, then what possibility you can have is, if x1 is less than x2, then f of x1 will be greater than f of x2. You can see f of x1 is greater than f of x2. Image of the smaller element will be greater. So it should goes like this. So the image of the smaller point will be greater than the image of the greater point. Is that clear? So this is how you get. Or you can say, or if your x2 you take it here, then f of x1 and f of x2 is equal, right? So the one possibility you may get is f of x1 is equals to f of x2 when the function is decreasing. So when the function is, if a function is decreasing function, then for x1 is less than x2 in the interval ab, what you will get is f of x1 will be greater than or equals to f of x2, right? So graphically you can see. Okay, similarly here, when the function is decreasing function, if your function is somewhat like this within the interval, if it is strictly decreasing function, okay, if it is strictly decreasing function, then f of x1 is, for x1 less than x2, okay, f of x1 will be, okay, now you can see this is the image of x1 and this is the image of x2, right? So f of x1 will be greater than f of x2. Okay, so when this happens, then we say that the function is strictly increasing and strictly decreasing, right? And now you know that the function is strictly increasing and strictly decreasing, right? And if a function within an interval, if a function is both increasing and decreasing, then we say that the function is this neither increasing nor decreasing. Okay, so this is how we define graphically about the nature of the function, how what happens when the function is increasing, okay, what happens when the function is decreasing, when it is strictly increasing and strictly decreasing. Okay, so now I try to graphically show you the nature of the function. Now we will define it and then we will see how we can apply derivative in checking whether a function is increasing, strictly increasing, decreasing, strictly decreasing, or neither increasing nor decreasing function. Okay, so we are going to apply derivative in checking the nature of the function in the interval. So first we will define the increasing, strictly increasing and all. Okay, a function f in the interval I. Now this interval, it can be any interval. The interval will be provided to you in the question, right? So a function f in the interval I is said to be number 1, okay, increasing function if for x1, x2 in I, where x1 is less than x2, okay. So a function f in the interval I is said to be increasing function if for x1, x2 in the interval I where x1 is less than x2, then f of x1 is less than or equals to f of x2. This I've shown you, right? Number 2, a function is said to be strictly increasing function if for x1 x2 in I, okay, I where x1 x less 2, then we have f of x1 is strictly less than f of x2. So this is how we define increasing, strictly increasing, right? Number 3, function f is said to be decreasing function, okay, if for x1 x2 where x1 is less than x2, then if it is decreasing, then f of x1 is greater than or equals to f of x2. Alright, and it is strictly decreasing function if for x1 x2 in the interval I where x1 is less than x2, then f of x1 is strictly greater than f of x2, right? Okay, and f is said to be neither increasing nor decreasing if f is both increasing and decreasing in the interval I, right? So this is the definition we use to define whether a function is increasing, strictly increasing, decreasing, strictly decreasing, or neither increasing nor decreasing functions, right? So this is how we define. Okay, now here we had nowhere applied derivative. Okay, now what we are going to do is to check whether a function is increasing or strictly increasing or decreasing or strictly decreasing. Okay, we are going to apply derivative. Okay, theoretically we had understood when do we say that a function is increasing or strictly increasing, decreasing or strictly decreasing. Till now we had just defined the natures of the function, right? But we are now going to apply derivative in checking the nature of the function. Okay, now this too I'm going to take help of the graph and will explain. Okay, so please you take down the note of this definition, right? It's very important. First I will consider increasing function. Okay, or I will take a strictly increasing function. Okay, now you look at the graph of the function and you know that this is a strictly increasing function, right? Now we will see how we can apply derivative in finding the in checking the nature of the whether the function is increasing in this interval or not. Okay, now if I take x1 and x2 in this interval, okay, so then what do we have? So here this coordinate, what will be this coordinate? It is x1 f of x1, right? And this coordinate is x2 f of x2, right? Okay, so now you take a secant. Now how you had in class 11, okay, so finding the derivative using the first principle method. Okay, so how you take that? Okay, so now I will take like this. Okay, so let me write this as just x, okay, and let the interval be h. So this point will be x plus h. So let this interval be h. So the coordinate this point will be x plus h. So instead of taking x1 and x2, I will write here this is x f of x, and this will be x plus h and f of x plus h, right? Okay, so this is actually your x1 and this is your x2. Now you can see that x1 is smaller than x2. So therefore f of x2 will be greater than f of x1, the definition of increasing function, right? So this is f of x, and this is f of x plus h. So x is less than x plus h, right? So f of x is less than f of x plus h, since it is a strictly increasing function. So we have this, right? Now how do we define this f dash x? You remember? So you write like this: limit of f of x plus h minus f of x divided by x plus h minus x. Is it? So, or you just write h, okay, as h tends to 0. So this is how we had defined the derivative using first principle method, okay? So this is f dash x is equals to limit of f of x plus h minus f of x upon h as h tends to 0. So this is the first principle method you used for finding the derivative of the function, okay? Now you look here, when I consider this, okay, you look at the numerator. Denominator, it's always a positive term. H means it is the length of the interval, right? So h is always positive. F of x plus h, okay, f of x plus h. Here in this case, when the function is increasing, then what happens is f of x plus h is strictly greater than f of x. This term is greater than f of x plus h is greater than f of x. So therefore, numerator will be always positive when your function is strictly increasing, right? So therefore, numerator is a positive term, denominator is a positive term, which means f of f dash x is always a positive term, which means f dash x is strictly greater than 0. Is it, right? So therefore, if f dash x is, if you for that function within that interval, if f dash x is strictly greater than 0, then we say that the function is strictly increasing function, right? And in case if your function is increasing function, then what you have for x1 is less than x2, then you have f of x1 is less than or equals to f of x2 when the function is increasing function, right? So then what happens is here this will be less than or equals to this, right? So you may get f of x plus h is greater than this, which is a positive term, or in some point or at some points these two can be equal. F of x plus h is equals to f of x. That can happen also when your function is increasing, okay? So in that case, if these two are equal, then your derivative will be 0. Is it? Numerator is 0, 0 upon h is always 0, right? Or else the numerator is positive. So therefore, when a function is increasing, then f dash x is greater than or equals to 0. So using the first principle method to find the derivative, okay, and then with taking the sign of the derivative, we will be able to show that whether a function is increasing, strictly increasing, decreasing, or strictly decreasing. So this is how we do, right? Similarly, when a function is, okay, decreasing, then what happens? If a function is decreasing, then in that case what you have, okay, for x1 is less than x2, you have f of x1 is greater than or equals to f of x2. This is how we had defined for decreasing function. Then in that case, f of x is greater than or equals to f of x plus h, right? So if this is greater, okay, then the numerator will be a negative term, okay? So therefore, if a function is decreasing, then the sign of the derivative will be negative, okay? So it will be less than or equals to 0 in case the function is decreasing. If it is strictly decreasing, then the numerator will be always negative. So therefore, f dash x is strictly greater than 0, okay? So this is how we use or we apply derivative in checking whether a function is increasing, strictly increasing, decreasing, or strictly decreasing. So this is how we do, right? Okay, so graphically I try to show you. You just understand the definition of the increasing, strictly increasing, decreasing, and strictly decreasing function. You just look at the definition we had stated earlier, okay, and then you compare it with the first order derivative, first principle method of finding the derivative, and then you, by checking the sign of the derivative, okay, so if a function is increasing, then your f dash x will be greater than or equals to 0 in that interval. If your function is decreasing, then the f dash x is less than or equals to 0 in that interval. So likewise, but by looking at the sign of the derivative within that interval, you can say whether a function is increasing, strictly increasing, decreasing, or strictly decreasing. So this is one of the application of derivatives, right? Where by applying derivatives, by checking the sign of the derivatives, you will be able to check whether a function is increasing, decreasing, strictly increasing, or strictly decreasing. Okay, so now we are going to state this.